remember that I had actually done the study of these two villages in the French Alps, and without having any training at all, I got the idea that the only way to find out was to go around and talk to people. No way could I do a survey, you know, I had a limited time. So just getting the feel of a place, I feel very strongly that and I've always had that it's, and if you press me, what do you mean by the feel of the place? I'd be very hard pressed to answer you, to say really what I meant by that. But I certainly had that almost intuitively, and it could have come from Vidal de la Blache that I mentioned earlier, because he wrote in this Personnalité de la France that each place did have its distinctive personality, which was partly due to the climate and the soil and the culture of the people and all this kind of thing. So that, I think, was quite a strong, I'm not going to say subconscious, but it was sort of an element in my thinking that you had to sort of get the feel of a place, not personality. So the fact that La Blache, a geographer, used the word personality, I think, was interesting. So not being too aware of the interconnection of these strands, but you must recognise that in the 1960s, sociology was a tremendously exciting and growing discipline, and wasn't really too aware of what that was, having come from geography. So listening to the lectures of Lockwood and Goldthorpe in Cambridge, reading Bill Williams, being suggested by John Westergaard to class was all and surveys were all, moving into the Rhodes Livingston Institute type of anthropology, which I was reading at Cambridge before I went to Kent. I think that's interesting. I can't remember what put me onto that, why I got into Clyde Mitchell so early. And then I think a very, very important influence, which I didn't mention in the longer interview, was the volume that Michael Banton edited on the social anthropology of complex societies, because that was a real step by anthropologists to recognise that the work they'd been doing could come back and inform the analysis of complex societies. I think that really was a sort of important marker for a number of people who were working qualitatively and doing ethnography in Britain in the 60s.